It's back in the euro dollar here. They just opened the bond market in Chicago. I'm on the 30-minute chart. So we got the retracement yesterday in the euro, and definitely the premium entry was down here, right there. And I guess this, the thing is today, can we go up some more? Can we take this thing up to the on the half hour? Can we take out the high of the day? So we're climbing up this half hour channel we've established. Of course, at any moment, ready to go the other way. Currently, the trend line to break is going to be... Okay, so we broke out... Last night we broke out of this trend line here, right? So that was the entry. This was the next place to get long, was on this double bottom. Triple bottom here, so I scalped this earlier. Of course, everybody's onto this. And now that it's congesting now, everybody's onto this. Everybody can see it coming. There's the 1 hour view, certainly more trustworthy view. And if we want to do a little pitchfork type, actually, of course, this is the big trend line to break here. So we broke that. Broke it here, but the early break of that, the first indication that if you can see that, if you really draw that precisely, you'd actually get a there's this internal trend line that kind of broke. So this is your first indication that you had a top become a bottom. And if you look at these, the edge of this range, you see a top bottom there. That was the top bottom that was on the 15 there. So right here you have a top bottom in the wicks, because that is what was happening on the 15. All right. So looks like we're gonna trudge through the tundra here, and we're gonna go up and maybe retest the high of the day. Of course, I'm selling up here, I'm buying down here. So same story. I'm not trading as big on this account as I did on the last account, but I do want to beef up these orders. So I'm gonna go into this thing, which is all set right now, linear. And so what I did was I put this at a buy at the market. Now this is a it's going to buy $30,000 at the market. Now this one should be more of a scalp, right? Because I want to take something. So I'm taking 8 pips here. I'm going to risk more than I make on that. This one I'm going to make, say, 15 pips, and here I'm going to make, say, 30. Okay, now I'm going to make this 30, and I'm going to make this 20. And there you go. So now it's going to buy $60,000. But this first one's going to be a scalp. So it's going to open at the position at the market. And so maybe I'll post this in the... Now you have to just take the script here. And basically inside here I have every variation. A bunch of examples in here. You can actually turn these all on and off. Now here is the sell stops. And all you got to do is, when you remove these 2 forward slashes, it's going to turn that on. That ticket's ready to go. So control, if you hold down the control key and hit Z, it's going to take you back to normalcy. These are the limits, the stops. This is open position at the market, and there should be a sell at the market. Okay, here's a sell at the market. So I try to group this in terms of all these strategies exist in this one. You could make this a 1 hour script, right? So if I make this last for an hour, I'll have to come back to this. Of course, this is on the market orders. This isn't going to matter whether that's set to M15 or whatever. But I'm going to set this longer, right? Because I don't want to keep coming back to this thing. So I'm going to set this as an hour, and just good old H1. And you don't see H2 and H3, but you can't put that in there. So I'm just going to go 1 hour, and so every hour you would risk you'd buy at the market or something. Or if you had pendings in here, right? So I don't have any pendings in there, but that's where you change the time frame. In other words, if you turn these on, these are going to last for an hour. But those market orders, bam, you're in. So that's scaled, and let me, I guess I could buy at the market right now, although I'd be chasing it, I suppose. I guess you could argue for the 1 minute chart. But here it looks like we're still got to wait for one more possible pullback to here. Maybe not here, so I'll buy at the market, right? So this is just launched that scaled one, and here, I guess it doesn't matter. This is the point of the demo, right? Well, that's not bad, right? Buy at the market. So you can see as it's plotting the, this is the scalp. So that's what I did when I had that other account running, is I just kept nailing this key. Because supposedly the markets, you know, as long as you have the risk-reward ratios, you're good. And on the 5 minute, I mean on the 1 minute, you've got this painfully obvious where the sellers came in right there. You just have to nail it, right? You got to have this thing trading at the market. So you can get a perfect trend line off that. So that's what you're waiting for. And this is 20 pips. So if you're trying to make 8 pips, you want to get in maybe here with a 5 pip stop. Right at that rolled over, here's that awesome wick stab into the right into that. Here was the top bottom from the last kind of chance to get long, I guess, on that wick there. Yeah, so I'm looking for is to break this trend line and or come up here. I'll be selling as soon as I come up here, right? So right at the bottom of the hour, I'm gonna probably take profits just to try to like if we get a spike, just dump it, so you can always get back in tighter like this. And these last for I want to set that so it's going to last longer, so I don't have to put that many orders in. Like in other words, if I put these orders in deeper like this, and these last for say you know, all day or something, that may be all day there, and that's like, you know, for 4 hours. So I want to chase it now that it's going up. I want to chase it with these limits, and I'm going to take my profits right now, everything off the table. So I just want it flat, and I'm expecting the pullback. So let's make sure I'm not in any of this stuff. And then I got this giant sell order above me, above where we're at, for the bum rush to this end zone here. And I'm also going to buy on the possible plunge. So this is going to get all wacky because everybody's onto it, and that's kind of when I want to get out, you know, when everybody's onto it, because now it's going to go just wackadoodle, possibly. So we got a perfect touch here, a 3-banger with a triple, and I would say, you know, horizontally speaking, this is the big, right, this is the big deal price. So if we can cut through that, but, you know, you wanted to be long off of this double top. So that rides over. 1 hour train to me It's already left the station, and I'd have to justify an entry on the 5 minute, which I guess the only oversold condition was here. So we're breaking the 5 right now. I guess we'd have to buy at the market if it pulls back to here, or just place a buy limit down here. So it's about how close you're to the market when it's kind of like out of control. And definitely, if we take out the high of the day, this is going to be a classic. Just fundamentally speaking, you're going to go to the ATM, you're going to get euros out or whatever you can get, right? So everybody's going to want to be in cash now. This was the big breakout rollover. So now we got this wedge. Here was the price pulse projection was supposed to take us down to here, which it did. Just for a moment. And now it's about I think the 1 hour chart, 1 hour channel is pretty safe. I'm expecting this. I'm giving it 8 hours to get up here. I'm giving it 8 hours to get down here deep. And yeah, it's just so boring. This was the big trend line breakout. That was last known high probability bounce-ola. Now it's just boring as can be. I guess I'm looking for that smash and grab up here. This is the big exciting scalp of the day. Just putting it orders way up here for a mind-blowing rally, and then come back. So I'm totally flat, except for this guy's gonna start selling. So I'm gonna take this demo and load it up with all these cells. This shouldn't take long. They'll smash it up and back. That's just how they roll. All right, looks like the sellers are coming in right here. So I'm going to take any profits I got. So I'm selling. I guess I'm just became a seller. Now I'm a buyer if it comes back here, though. So I got to beef up these orders to make them last longer, because you just don't want to have to come back to this, right? You don't want to have to come back to this. This is like just annoying, right? Like some trades last for a moment and some take forever, depending on which time frame you're on. So, but this is a big contention price right here in the half hour. We could come smashing all the way back to here, so this is where I'm really gonna load it up, see what happens. I'm only in $55 a margin, so okay. All right, well, I'm just gonna hit the pause button on this, and hopefully they're gonna pull it back to right there. Wow, this thing's just lightning fast. The fastest broker I've ever seen in my life. Just mind-blowing speed. Just ridiculous. So, look at that euro. Wow. Everybody's all excited. Here's the top. What are you gonna do? Looks like we're gonna blow out that top. Still want to get in on the pullback though. Alright, well, what can you say? It is boring. Of course, Dow Jones is going to open. I think the Dow Jones is in a heap of trouble. So I'm watching the Dow Jones here, did a double top on the daily. totally rejecting this. These wicks here. Perfect pivot off of that. So Dow Jones could be on its way down some serious going down the tubes, as they say. It's not a very good color for that. But yeah, that looks like a no-brainer. It's about time. Can't believe these people think this is worth something. These stocks. They'll be closing Starbucks soon. Let's face it. Who's going to go there at that price? I'd rather stay home and, you know, get my ugly wife to make coffee. So, yeah, support there, right? Dow Jones buyers should be coming in on the Dow Jones Weekly about here, right? So if they don't, then it's just doomed. Of course, that's a nice pullback. I guess this is like a possible bull trap, but yeah, Dow Jones. Maybe there's one more breath left in the uptrend there. This is kind of a steep sell-off right now. And gold's falling through the floor there. We're tempting the weeklies. Sitting right at the edge of the abyss on the weekly. So there's a giant vault here. There's a gold vault all the way down to... Wow. Yikes. So here's the possible swimming pool of death to 991. Now even the bargain hunters will be coming in here just below this window. This from here to here, that's going to be the real playground for that thing. Wow. So yeah, this is why it's just so boring. Okay, it looks like we could just still trudging through this trend line on the 1 hour. Expecting sellers to come in here. Here's the half hour. Zoom out. Looking back 3 days. Bunch of stops here. The bear stops are sitting up here on the, just on the robots. So we want to sell up there. I guess hopefully these are going to last a while. I won't have to reset these. Alright. Pretty hard to blow this account up. Unless I never rewrote these to be, this is like painting watercolor, price-wise here, as opposed to putting in big monster orders, and doing stuff like at the market. And yeah, so this broker, I must be in a hedge here. Okay, so I think I'm totally flat, unless I'm still in a hedge because I've got yeah, so I only made $3,000 there, but at least for the I actually don't know how much I'm risking percentage-wise in the account, so I'm just doing it. I'm just visually trading it. Like if we go up, I want to sell. Try not to overthink it. And sure, if we can get up there, and this is like a nice little trap to set. 20 pip trap up there. So who knows? Maybe I fill all these orders. Right now I'm flat, amazingly. And this is just a giant pile of orders. So this would be a kind of driving 25 miles an hour through town kind of thing in a maybe a steel-clad Hummer, or some beat-up car, right? Can your beat-up car go 25 miles an hour? Absolutely. Can you pick up women in your 25-mile-an-hour car? Absolutely. Right, you just pull up to them on the street, you're downtown. But the nice thing about trading is you don't have to be there. You can put all these orders in and walk away and let the market prove you right. So, obviously, we all know where the market's turning around, right? The question is, are they going to overshoot the runway? Are they going to take it below and make a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders? Absolutely. They're going to take it down. And the first head is the biggest price pulse is wave 3. That's the head of the shoulders. That's all you would ever need to know about trading, right? But the extrapolations that people put on their screen just blow your mind out, right? It's just kind of, the market's just constantly torturing certain traders to death. So to switch modes from being a scalper to being a swing trader, wearing both hats is a little difficult because you'd have to be switching. But if you built a market order or just built a buys 20 pips deep for the next 2 hours, so that's like 10 pips an hour, and you can kind of get your brain around the velocity of 10 pips an hour. Either direction doesn't matter really, because if it goes up 40 pips, you probably want to sell it for at least a 20 pip pullback with a 10 pip stop, say, or something, right? So you're constantly throwing out these orders as if you're placing, say you own a store on eBay and you're selling all these different items, right? So you're selling everything from edible, CDs to, whatever, somebody wants, say, handmade, Pyrex or something. Right? Who knows? So I'm just gonna come at this market with a shotgun effect, which considered to be well, I don't know. I guess it's just not really. I'm not asking too much of the market, I guess. Just asking that it get there already, right? All right, so I'm not getting filled, so that's kind of boring. I'm just going to come back at about 9:30 when the news breaks here. So here they come. They're coming after this trend line now. This is a pretty fast window. Looking for a break out of this trend line right now, and then come whipping back, possibly to re-enter deeper. Of course, we did break this trend line. Let's not forget, the real break was back here at the double top. Became this top, became the rollover there. I guess you kind of have to cheat a little bit here and drag that maybe to here. Of course, you don't have to if you hang it off of this internal. In other words, if you go for this, if you think this is Elliott wave, here's a real Elliott wave right here. Oh, here's the ABC, right? Or 1, 2, 3. 3 is the biggest wave. So we're going to take this back to, we'll run this one on the top here, and then this one we're going to take back to this top. So we're going to use this the 1, 2, 3, and then we hang it here, so we get 4 hits, breaks out, pulls back. We're getting in at the confluence point here. Now we want to re-enter on possible tumble into this, or we sell like crazy after we break this trend line. If we break through there, come back, we could still get long here. I'd rather get long about right here. So 50%, coming back to this internal top, which is this major, there's like a doji node back here, right? So this window here is critical entry for me, but right now I'm not in. I'm just waiting to get filled on either a psycho spike north. So I put a ton of orders up here. to capture that uncharted water that we haven't seen in quite a bit of time up there. So coming back to this, I was expecting some kind of spike up into that, right? Of course, it's going to be not a straight line, thank God, so there's plenty of chances to get on the train. So we walk through this window now. Okay. Now, a lot of people will be getting long on these wicks and the robots, but probably going to get a rip back off of that because they'll just take that, you know. The market makers will just rip it back off those tops. Okay, I'll be selling into this if it ever breaks through because I want to not be in the market that long. I don't like really being in these markets that long. So right here, I got out already. Like, I already traded that bounce. Like, I said, forget about it, right? Okay, here's the contention, and as the clock's running, if you're on the 1 hour, because the half hour is going to give you a little more safety. But the nice thing is, if you switch between the 1 hour and the half hour, you never need to change your trend lines, right? Whereas if you know, you can get around, you can maneuver the. Of course, you go to the 4 hour, and now you're looking at a very steep world, but you still see the same rules hold up. A little more precision on this 4 hour than on the. But now, as soon as you go from 1 hour to 4 hour, now your magnitude is just so whacked out. But definitely the euro, love to just sell it all day long as it goes up into this thing and just keep plucking these orders off. That's another technique, is to just lay a minefield, and as the mines explode, you don't necessarily have to. It's not like I'm saying sell here and ride it all the way back to here, but some of those orders could be built like that. But typically, if you've laid all these pendings, you're going to just be taking profits. So when it spikes up here and rips back, and you can see that, it's a real breakout, it's not a fake out, there's that moment of truth inside the, say, a 5-minute chart. So this is the noise that people complain about, but this is the moment of truth aspect to this. If you're drawing a trend line on the 5-minute, you'll see we already broke out. So it's really like, yikes. You know, we could really just start cleaning house to the north. And 5-minute traders, they're probably long, right? If we take out these wicks on this 5-minute here, it's going to trigger a bunch of fractal entry people that think this is the trend here, right? They're like, wow, that baby's going through there. But we might have to stumble back into here, back to the starting gate. We may not have enough momentum to clear those trees there. But it's just about angles and perspective. As soon as you zoom out another layer, now you're thinking in a whole different light, right? Market gets pretty fragile on this 5-minute. So it really gets very a little tedious too. I mean, you're not dealing with a lot of pips. 5-pip move on this chart looks like a hell of a move. As long as you're aware of the deeper prices that it could go to either side, then there's nothing wrong with scalping on a 5-minute chart at the market, right? But you always got to be thinking that when the market gets quiet for too long, something's up. Something's terribly wrong. And so it's quiet now, and as these bulls try to sneak across the trend line on the 15, you know, they're like trying to get through this big kind of getting in this wedge going. That's the problem. See, it's getting contentious. So I'm going to sell because I think I missed the long train. So I want to sell on the spike up here. So I'll give this thing till Dow Jones opens in about like 34 minutes, 33 minutes. Come back to this big wedge on the 30-minute. Oh, here's the moment of truth. It's the top of the hour. We're at the borderline on the half hour, so half hour is syncing with the news. And this is getting to be a little bit like a make it or break it moment. Really wish it would come flying back and pick me up here. And I really wish it would go spiking north and then rip back after it goes up. Okay, that's my wish. And I'm just saying. So, come back to that. Okay, this seems painfully obvious what's going to go on now. This shouldn't take too long. So I'm going to buy this euro on the pullback if there becomes one. And I'm also going to sell it if it goes up. So it's kind of, I'm just using a really elementary system here. So this is my big sell banks, and I'm just going to see what happens. I'm not in yet, and here comes the Dow Jones, which is probably going to crash. They're going to ram this puppy up. They're going to rip it back, or we're going to spill out of this half-hour wedge here. So we're sitting right at the apex right now. Here's the moment of truth, at least by the clock and by the by the price over time clock. You know, we have to make an envelope here because we have these double tops here we got to cue off of. So it's going through the miter box of life here. My next sell point is going to be up there, and then I'm going to sell all the way, all day long. I'm selling into it as it cuts through the divide here. But I'm also buying on pullbacks pretty heavy. So I put all these, if we come back to this, is going to be where I really want to get in. So this broker doesn't seem to have a limit. I haven't reached their limit yet of how many orders I can put in. It's cracking me up. And super fast. I mean, this broker is just lightning fast. Scary fast. But yeah, just, you know, the only heavy order I put in here was I rewrote the market order. So I'll stick that in the thing there. If you go to the if you go to the meta editor in here, you know, go to tools and go to here, you're gonna say you're gonna go new, right? And just create a script and just name it whatever, and then just delete all this and just paste in what's on the script site, the Google MT4 scripts. Just paste that in there, compile it, and it should run. Of course, you're going to have to adjust the taste, you know. This is a demo account here, so all you lose is you just get your feelings hurt, you know. So yeah, back to this demo account. So we're waiting for the clock to run out here on the Dow Jones. Okay, so I'm gonna come back. This painfully forming triangle of disaster is forming on the 1 hour, and boy, that euro could just go screaming north so hard today because it's just like it's over, right? or we're going to go down here. So if we come down here, my alternate and backup plan is to buy low. So it's a buy low, sell high system, and yeah, 25 minutes. So I jumped into a scalp here. We came back to that top on the 5 minute, right? So if you had a pending there, I actually got filled on a pending, but I bought at the market. So I'm using that where I exit after like 8 pips. So I got into $2,000 of margin right there. Only looking to make 8 pips, right? So here's the contention point, and here comes the bum rush into 20 minutes till the Dow opens. We're crashing through the trend line on the half hour, and here's the 1 hour. So we're just breaking the trend line right now, so I figured this is going to be the rip back. So I'm long into it with a short strategy just above it, looking to sell that all the way up, actually. The more the merrier. Okay, now I've scalped out. I'm only in $1,000 of margin, and I just made it to 4,000. So I made 200 bucks, right? Of course, I know that this will be a pretty exciting stop hunt to the north. So sellers are coming in right there, probably right now, and just got to wait it out. So 20 minutes till Dow. So I just went totally flat. I got out of everything I was in. I was slightly long, I think, still. I think there's going to be more fast and dirty money on the sell side up in this, up in here. So I'm putting all these sells up here. You'll see what happens. Plus I got the buys below. And Dow Jones. Checking with the Dow Jones, gold looks like it's just gonna go to meltdownville, and the Dow on the daily looks like we could just come all the way down here to this down into hunt down these. If they could take out this low here, well, they're going after that low, right? We'd be buying like right down there. Wow. Yeah. If this thing can just cut back through all that wick and just really collapse today. Wow, Dow Jones. Buy it right here. So, it's got to fall another whatever. How many pips that is? Can't remember what I put on that thing. Buying on pullbacks on this Euro-dollar now. We got to the borderline, and we're sitting right there on the 30. Sitting right here on the 1 hour. It's really the do or die moments. Wow. So it's where do you get in, right? After that, if you're not in it now, during this phase, you know, I'm not chasing it, I'm not buying here, but I'll buy if it pulls back, say, just a few pips. So if I went just looking at that as far as about this deep, maybe 20 pips. So if it pulls back, definitely if it comes down here, you want in, right? Because this would be the last known rollover. Consider this breakout's already happened, right? So if you missed that entry, I think it's better to sell up here. Just go flat and wait for them to fill you on the big exciting over exuberance before they get the smack down. They're just really coming after these stops, right? They want to come after these bears wicks. Definitely test the high of the day. But actually, if it comes back to that, Be the best trade of the day. Comes back into, just whips back to here, and then bam, does one of these. But that was it. Last night's channel failure right here, this end of this channel, and when we broke out of that channel and did the head and shoulders underwater here. Wow. Okay, here's where I'm hoping for a fall back to earth strategy. Come off of that, come back to this line here. These just hard lines, you know. And this is just the projected pace of the market. Okay, we got to break that. And like I said, just too scary for me to be buying at the borderline. I'd rather wait in the bushes, hide out down here in the bushes with my limit orders. So I'm totally flat here. At, coming into the Dow Jones open. Okay. Well, looks like it's going up, but they can have at it. I really could care less at this point. Seen this a million times, and a little scary for me to be buying into resistance like that, but I'm still expecting a 10-minute tick drama where the market goes into a spastic move. Looks like it's going to be up, but like I said, the sell side for me, I just want to have the trading day be over with. I'd rather just like hit it and quit it. I don't want to get married to this thing. All these moves to me are just so stupid. You know, if you got like half a brain, you just look at this stuff and think, I just don't have the patience for these trades. Of course, this is probably the best money all day, is waiting just, I think an hour and a half to get paid here. This double bottom here entry, that was kind of like the dumbest trade from the planet Earth, right? You got a top becomes a double bottom here, right? That was it. And now we're just trying to cut through. So I'm going to sell. I'm going to wait until the Dow Jones opens. And there she blows. So I'm looking for sells now. I just got filled on my first sell, I think. But now that the market's moved, when I launch these guys, they'll be in a different position. So now I've got complete diversification in price here. I'm going to really load up on the top side of this pretty hard right now. So this is my my contrarian strategy of complete reversals, retracements, swing trade. It's like swing trading on the intraday. And yeah, here's another moment. So we broke out. I'm expecting the pullback now. So I'm short. I'm down 10 cents. I went down a buck. Okay, that was so that was a no-brainer, right? That price pulse is over for the moment. Now, is there going to be follow-through? I think so. So I'm going to sell above that line in the other swimming pool, the pool to the north. So I'll just sit back, let them fill me. Go make some more coffee or go take a nap. This is the point where I just don't care. I'm going to sell all the way up into that thing. Today, sell the euro. But people say, well, but it went up. Yeah, I know. But like I say, look at this Dow Jones. Okay, contrarians. All right, well, I got into $100 of margin. I think it's going to still go up. Okay, they're going to try to come chase all that down. That's where I'm selling. So I'm selling into their conspiracy here. So up in here, I'm selling today. So I'm expecting a big smash up there and a rip back. Or maybe this is it. This could be it. So I'm not gonna blow up this account. Just because I'm trading so tiny. I don't think it's possible. That's what I'm thinking. Uh-oh. Yeah, there goes my moving truck. Okay. Oh, I'm down $1.40. Oh, I'm white knuckles. Yeah, I don't usually trade like this, to be honest with you. This is so small, there's not even a chance to blow up the account, really. You know, real men trade big. Trade 100 standard lot. Okay. So here's the moment of truth on the 1 hour. Are we going to take out this trend line? Okay, here we go. I guess we did. Now, next contention point is going to be copied to the top of that. So I can make the argument for buying on a pullback into this this guy here, or at least put a buy limit here, right? If you miss the train. Selling up here. Obviously selling all of the retail traders, all the bears protections for a scalp. Okay, I'm down $6. I'm going to let this script play out into the Dow Jones Open. I think Dow Jones starts to tank here. If I go to the 15-minute Dow, 15-minute Dow takes out this trend line. Euro goes through the roof. Okay, roof, it's going through the roof now. I'm selling up into that. Okay, now I'm in $900 a margin. Down $55. I was up $4 today in this account, so I want to get to $5, right? In the next 5 minutes. Right. Maybe that's asking too much. All right, it's going north. I'm selling more. All right, this is it, man. Taking some heat. Down $150. Using $900 of margin. Oof. Oh, $1,400 of margin. Down $130. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, $1,400 of margin. I should make $1,400 on this thing. According to my rules of margin and profit, I don't know what that comes out percentage-wise, but it's coffee. Sorry you had to hear that, but this is the most boring job. I'm over it. I'm done. Of course, can't seem to build an EA to do this nonsense. But if you trade super tiny, you always make money. I mean, let's face it, we can all make 300% in about 30 seconds. But we'd have to get the hell out of that trade. We'd have to get out some of these things right away. All right, I'm short $1,400 worth on the stop hunt of the bears. So this is my strategy, is to gobble up that fake breakout. Of course, if it's a real breakout, then they're going to kill me. All right? But I'll wait till the Dow Jones opens, which is in about 4 minutes here. See what happens. It's 2-minute warning. This is a crucial moment. I'm only down $70 right now. So if I can hang through right until the Dow opens, and I could get a pullback, I might get out in 2 minutes if I'm up. If I'm up $1,400, because that's my target, right? I'm only trading the money. It's not about the pips for me. It's about the money. So if I'm up, and it's a scalp, and I know it's a scalp, in other words, there's going to be another chance to get in the market, I'm just going to get the hell out, right? So in 2 minutes here, right? If it can come back to the breakout point of either the trend line or in the horizontal world, just this top, that would be my scalp. And then after that, I don't care. Actually, I want to buy if it goes down lower. But if I'm up, like I said, if I'm up $1,500 before the Dow opens, because when that Dow opens, man, there's going to be some. So this is kind of like this breakout, and this is the moment of truth. Is this a breakout or a fake out? Okay. So come back here in 1 minute. Okay, so I got 30 seconds here. I'm tempted to get out. I'm up $120. It's not bad, right? I'm gonna hang out for 15 more seconds. I think I'm gonna start getting out. Okay, I'm taking everything off the table that's in profits. Now I'm only into $165 on margin. And anything can happen, right? Here comes the Dow, and that's why I got out. Now, it's not the best trade in the world, right? But I made $200, right? Now anything can happen. So the whole landscape changes, and all those pendings that I've got, I'm just going to get out of anything that's up in profits here. So now I'm going to buy as we come down, right? So there's a complete change of attitude coming now. Who knows, right? Now the cash market's open. Everything changes. So I'm going to buy this euro on a plunge now. And there's this FOMC thing today. I don't know if that's going to be affecting the market. All right, I'm totally flat. Yeah, well, not totally flat. I'm slightly short here. So if it comes back, which doesn't look like it's going to come back, looks like we're going to go rocketing up now. So I guess I'll just let myself get stopped out of that. Of course, if it does come down, if I go to the 30-minute chart, looks like we still come back. Now it looks like it's just going to go rocketing up, but I guess that's just my fear of seen it a million times kind of things. Where, wow, that was the only short you're going to get out of that puppy. Now it's like, see you later, bye-bye. See you wouldn't want to be kind of behavior. There's a 15-minute. So I could see it coming back to here possibly. I'll definitely be a buyer. But I still have these pendings here that haven't deleted themselves, so I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to get aggressive pullback buys now. So at this point, I'm going to trade it as if I've got stops in the market. In other words, if people are putting stops in, I'm going to put my buy limits where their stops are. So the people that are going to try to get long this thing now, this is the 5-minute. I'm going to trade it from this side of getting in where they put in too tight a stop, but also selling if it keeps going up. And I got trapped on this. So now the question is, I'm down $31. Do I just let myself get stopped out and sell more higher, or do I say, oh, I'm wrong, you know? Well, I guess if you let it play out and just say, you know what, I'll take the loss, just because if I start intervening too much in what I wrote for a script, if I edit as it's unfolding, then I'm not sticking to my trade plan in a sense. And if you didn't make, so I'm up $200 in the day, so I could be down. I don't know where the stops are on these actually. But like they say, if you wait, this one's going to get out here, and so it's not too big a hit, right? And that was the sell limits that lasted for an hour. We could still come back. I don't know if there's like crude oil news or something, but usually at the top of the hour, people make a decision, and then so here's a half-hour view. 5 minute looks like, well, I guess I could take off anything once I get to my maybe target for the day. Maybe you want to make $300 a day. If you hit your target, right, you just stop trading. Of course, that would be if you could just resist, right, not finding another setup. But I guess I'm trading for the whole day today as far as anything can happen. And certainly if this thing comes down, I'm going to get out. If it comes down to here, I get out, right? Okay, see if I get any profits. So there's nothing in profits there yet. I could take one of these off, right, manually. But I usually don't intervene. Usually don't come into, this is a demo, so I'm not too worried about it. But you still got top of the hour, so come back if there's any more drama. So we did pull back, and I got in on this pullback for a scalp. I'm already out of it, I think. But I was in like $5 of margin there for just a little bit. So that was the pullback after the breakout. We got it here on the 15 on this wick here. This zoom out, you can see your fill would have been down here if you're getting in at the retest of that. That's where I got in, the retest of this node right here. We came back to this. I had pendings sitting all down in here, big basket, all the way to that guy. So not much of a pullback there to speak of. That was about it. Probably gonna go after the top now. And just blow that out one more time. I'm gonna sell up into that again. Tempted to get out right now of everything I'm in on the long side. It's a pretty frantic zone here, because if that's the breakout, pull back. If it's a real breakout, we should follow through now, at least on this 15 and the 5. It's a little more obvious. That was the window, so I'm going to take profits here. Try to go flat. Okay, so I'm up 4,700 on the day. I'm just going to come back to that. Hopefully pull back into something. Some cash out all my winners here. Wait for one more pullback. I don't know what news came out, but it's always something with these people. Of course, Europe's closing soon, so this is going to be the do or die moment for the bulls and the bears. Waiting forever for this euro to climb out and go up here. So here's my target on the 1 hour, is hanging my channel off of this swing here. If I find the highest close in there, so right about here, and I'm looking to sell into this thing still, right? So finally I'm long a little bit. I think I'm just going to get out right here. I think that's a little overbaked to the top side. So I'm up $5 on the day, and just falling asleep waiting for this thing to do something. Just not getting any it's not spiking enough, I guess. That's the problem. Kind of want to have some more action. Where's that price action that everybody talks about? I trade price action, damn it. Come on. So something's happening here. It's the top of the hour and it's the top of the channel. And the bulls ran out of steam there a little bit. Getting divergence here. Failure swing off that top. So the divergence just means it's not making the projected targets anymore. It's like momentum based on trend line. Here's the bottom. Here's the pitchfork rollover. We scooch that up and create a wedge of sorts. But yeah, we're going up. Slightly still long here, and I'm going to sell all the way into this. Looking for a big exit from the dollar into the euro. Coming into the top of the hour. Session close. Time to load the wagon on sell limits here on the north end. And I'm just going to sit back and wait for the pips to roll in. Sitting on the dock of the bay waiting for the pips to come rolling in here. It's my ripe sell zone. Okay. Spikerama, baby. This one, since it's a demo, gonna trade this pretty hard. Here's the daily coming after the bears. They got their stops up in there. Okay. That's it. Cowabunga. Try to get some quick and dirty pips here. Come on, people. Bring it on home, baby. Last thing I want to do is spend any time in these markets. Okay, so here we go. This is the demo. Slightly long, I think. Or slightly short. Here comes the bum rush. Big top of the hour smash and grab. Looking to sell into this where all the bears got their stops. Another fake breakout zone. Right there, going to play the pullback. So this trade shouldn't take too long. I guess I'm short, so I'm losing. Down 18 bucks. Okay, this high probability stop hunt zone here. There's the 4 hour. So this trend line still, this breakout still in force. Looking for a climax into this channel top here. Right up in there I'm selling. So I'm slightly short into it. Almost sell at the market right now, but using $200 a margin. Slightly short. Alright, top of the hour is coming and expecting it to spike up. Grab these stops. And then I'm going to trade the pullback off that. So it's really scalp. Big scalp bank up there. Got 30 seconds. And then the 5-minute traders come in. Maybe they can push it right into the end zone and then rip it back. That's what I'm hoping. Look at that thing just That's your classic total engulf retrace. Definitely the buy of the week down there. 80 pips, right where that retail trader put his stop. Alright, moment of truth, top of the hour. Possible pullback here. Alright, come back to this drama. Here comes the 5-minute traders to push this puppy into the end zone. Looking for a 30 pip, almost a 40 pip rally up into here and then a pullback. So this is going to be a scalp trade here if they can push it up through that window and rip it back. Take a little bit of heat here on the cells that are already into, down $13.20. Okay, now they're going to hit me. Now I'm down 20 bucks. But you just got to know that going in, right? Of course, I could take off that sell right now and say, yeah, we're going up, but whatever. I guess I'm too lazy to fire that employee. I'm too lazy to restock the item. Sorry, blue light special's over. You're just going to have to fend for yourself. Anyways, this is the boringness of trading. This is how it usually looks. This is how it usually acts. You get some momentary bursts of excitement on the 1 hour and then nothing. Explosion. Rip back or drift. Explosion, then drift into an explosion. And this is typically how it runs. Really not as glamorous as it's been described. Oh, I'm up $2. So I will get out if we could pull back to this or anywhere near there. I'll take something off the table here. If I think it's going to go up in the next 15 minutes. So I'm looking for the sellers should be coming in a little bit here. Guess I just gotta wait. So I'll come back here. Here comes the 1 minute to the 5-minute traders. If they take the ball and launch it north, then it's over for my slight profit here. So the 5-minute traders took the ball, and I got out on that slight pullback because it looks like we're going up now. I think it's a foregone conclusion. We'll have to do some house cleaning on the about 60 pips up here. Take out some of these bearish stops. So I'm down $9. And just gonna have to wait till this happens. And most of these orders I think delete in about 1 hour. So I'll keep putting sells up there. So I'm up $5 on the day, I think, or I'm up $2 on a day. I think I was up $2 last night. Still could pull back. So I'm slightly short. If we come back and I'm up on this trade, I'll get out and go flat. Just because I'm expecting a huge burst north here. Just seems like a classic pattern. Seem to always get it. Looks familiar on the 5 minutes. And with all this stacking up, all these wicks stacking up here, there's just too many stops. You know. I'm sure we can see all these. Alright, this is going to be the house cleaning zone. And that's just how this market is. And this auction, when it's doing this auction thing, there's really not a... like if you're still long from down here, you're loving it, right? Got another 60 pips to go. But I like to just get the hell out after a move like that. I can always get back in. Alright. Bottom of the hour. Usually very dramatic moment. And 1 hour from now, very dramatic. So here we could get some nice house cleaning. 4 hours up and pause and nobody's selling it, so path of least resistance would be the upside at this point. Just a classic, you know, just cleaning of all the stops. It's been stacking up too long. And Dow Jones is about to take out this triangle on the 15. I'm expecting the Dow Jones to crash when the euro goes up. Gold probably tank too. So gold's like hanging on by a thread here. It's 4-hour gold. Sellers are going to come in here at this double bottom. They probably already did, at least for that scalp. And then EGADS, here we go. Up, up, and away. So here you go. Now I'm into $830 a margin. As long as I didn't overload it. Now, on the pullback here, if it pulls back to this, I'm definitely scalping out. If I make 800 bucks here, make another $400 in the next 10 minutes, I'll take it. So there's a moment of truth. We just took out these stops on that 4-hour. Next target is to come after these. And we're up against this, we're on the doji right now. Right in that window. Okay, another blast. 20 pips up. Here's where I might start getting stopped out. So I'm taking a $70 hit right now. I just gotta let this play out. Let them grab those stops, rip it back, and then maybe buy into it if it's a real breakout, not a fake out. And I guess I'm gonna put more sells up here. So I really want to load the wagon on that. But if I make 400, like I said, if this pulls back to this breakout, I'm going to take my money and run. Not letting my profits run on any of these, because it's really scalping. I just laid the minefield out there so that once it's trapped and comes back, I can just take off that leg and then put more mines further north for them to go into that trap and walk out. So it just entails waiting at least till the bottom of the hour. So I come back bottom of the hour, see how much punishment I take here. Came back to my target. I got out of that whole position. I'm still slightly short. I'm looking for a big rally now. That was the breakout. That was the pullback. This should be the follow through to the upside. So I'm going to sell all the way up there. I want to have this thing go straight up and then rip back. So it's just waiting. Plus I would buy if it goes down. That's the 5 minute, and this is the rear view mirror 4-hour. And that's how I do it. It's that simple. Just using pretty much scalping. Always scalping. Okay, so it's going to start selling as soon as it comes up in here. Next 20 pips is all sells. Really looking to get filled as it goes up. About to get filled here probably. I'm using like $55 a margin. I'm down 20 bucks. Maybe get stopped out of this one guy pretty soon here. Just lose 20 bucks. I'm up 5 grand on the day. Just counting the money today. Alright, about to get filled here. Got a clean house to the north side here. Take out all these wicks. and then looking for that rip back to scalp it. Just about there. It's just about going to get stopped out of this. Okay, now I'm $500 margin in. Okay, another should pick up some more margin here. If I get stopped out of something. So I'm down about 20 bucks off of my, down 60. I was at I was up 5,000. So just took on some more margin. And this is just set it and forget it trading pretty much. Nothing you can do about it now. Until they're done cleaning house here. So we're coming up on, approaching this guy's stop. And then looking for the rip back. See, it could come right now before we even get to that guy's order. And some of the guys got a stop here, and there's a stop here. Alright, and there's a stop up here. So big stop, hunt, rip back strategy. And then you just gotta wait through. Now about the hour's coming, and you usually get some crazy stuff here. So I'm actually right at $5,000 profit. So it's borderline now. If it pulls back and I make 200 bucks, that'll be good. It'll be good, right? Well, it's, I think it's going up. Looks like everybody's all the bears are running scared now. I'm gonna poke up in here, try to tag all these cells I put in. Okay, about bottom of the hour's coming, so I'm into 600 here. I'm at 5 grand. Let me see what happens. Come back when there's more antics. So I'm into $1,300, $1,700 now. They're coming after that stop. Okay, they just clipped this one, so I'm expecting a pullback, but we could probably just clip this straight up now. So now I'm down 170 bucks, and I got a chance to get out on a little bit of this, but we'll let this thing play out here. As the bottom of the hour comes in, and just as we're clipping into these stops here, and this is the big round handle up there, so still could cut north here, and then we just have to wait about 15 minutes or a half hour for the pullback. If we get the pullback, it just could come really quick and dirty here. Of like pulls back 10 pips, I'm definitely getting out of something. So here comes the pullback. There's a chance to scalp some of this right now. Definitely if it pulls back to here, I'm getting the hell out. Right. Even about right. Take something off the table here. Take about 120 bucks right there. Okay, now I'm in light. Now I'm gonna sell again, and it comes back up. Okay, so I made 100 bucks there. I was in a little bit too heavy. I'm still in 300 bucks now, which isn't bad. And let's see where I'm at on these guys. Yeah, I guess I'm ready to sell some more up there. So if we go back up, I'll definitely want to do that again. So these guys are pending, but I'm still in $387 of margin, which is not bad. So if that comes all the way back to here, I scalped out to reduce my exposure. Now if we pull back to there, I'll take the rest off. If I make another 50 bucks here, maybe make about, yeah, maybe like 40 bucks here, right, if it pulls back. If not, I guess I'm going to endure the punishment of being in this amount here. They take it up there. I got a crop of orders to sell, but see how they just ripped it back? Now the buyers want to come in, say on the 1 minute. They're eager to get in here. The 1 minute chart makes sense at this time of day. right? Because that was the breakout, the pullback, and now here comes the bum rush, probably for another spike up in there. But I'm already committed to so many orders there. But if we do take out this one, we only got 20 pips to go, smashing through that round. But definitely got a cluster of orders right there. But I was in $1,700 of margin, so this will be another fill of at least that, or this bottom of the hour is 30 seconds away. We can come smashing back through, and I'll just clear off what I'm in. Right, still in 387 margin here. That's the 1 minute chart. It's 4 hour chart on the left. This is their target to stop people out, the bears, and they already achieved that one. So, top of the hour is here now, I think. My clock's right here on this one. Okay, there you go. Got a little buy signal here, or like top became a bottom. But this is definitely a fragile little stairway. This is 1 minute. 1 minute stairway's a little fragile. And yeah, wow. Still looking for that pullback to cash out of the some of this. Get me up another $200 today. Get me a 5,200. Pretty conservative. I don't think I used more than, at the most, I think I used about $8 grand of margin at one point. I guess that's a lot of margin. It's a lot more than I know I would. Well, I guess $100,000 in the account, right? Of course, this is just waiting for the 5 minute traders and the 1 minute traders. Really just a scalping situation today. Unless you were riding this thing from way down deep, you know. I certainly loved it if you bought down here. But right up on the edge of this thing, wow. Okay, it might take profits here. Getting a little bit of pullback. I'm up $2. Actually, it's almost about going flat than it is taking profits. Gonna just figure, well, if I wait till the wait 3 more minutes here, get out if I'm up on something. I just went flat, so I'm up. I took that $158. So I'm at 5,158. And I'm gonna go get something to eat and come back, resume this day of, well, you know, I still want it to go up so I can scalp it. I guess it's a scalping day. So I'm gonna put some cells up here, go get some vittles, and I'm looking for another attempt to go up. Now I'm going to sell a little tighter to this top. And this is my scalping program, or my outlier. Still looking to make the big win today. The big where we go ramming up and then ramming back, or ramming down and ramming up. I guess I'm into the ram factor, and I'm still bullish on this damn thing. If we come back to this breakout point here, so that's right about here. This is the flyback zone. And on here it's going to be like this. So I'm really going to load up here. If we come down for that, because if that's a real breakout, then we need to pull back to here. Right, there's the 1 minute chart. We're falling down into this. And okay. I'm not going to get too aggressive on the buys here, but okay, that climax was reached on that. Bam, they hit it. So looking for a big pullback here. Catch a falling knife again. Just about to get filled here on these. Got a bank right there. Here it is. Looking for that scalp. And then we go up for real. Right, okay, so I'm getting filled. This could overshoot the runway on the pullback. Alright, 160 bucks. So maybe that's it. I'm gonna get aggressive now. Yeah, sorry to bore you to death, but that's what trading's all about, pure boredom. Okay, there you go. Alright, now I'm gonna go eat something. Come back, look, I'm up $5, right? Looking for this thing to still go to the moon. We're still looking for that northern house cleaning, but I want to be long going into it. So I can make something both sides of this. Alright. So let's got 1 hour here. Time to go get some high-end cheese. You know, when you buy cheese, you're paying rent. You're paying rent on how long it took to make that cheese. And then I need to get some onions that are like, I don't know. Can't they just get the pre-chopped ones and just sprinkle them on? I think I've given this market enough time to get the party started. So that pullback is finished, and I went long on limits. And no market orders here. And I'm still up 5,160. Got it to $1,200 in margin on this pullback. So if that was the breakout of here, this would be the pullback, and then we go up from here. There's a 4-hour view. Here's the trend line we got to hold on the 30-minute. And I'm definitely a buyer all the way down into that. Picking up some more buys here 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Hopefully I'm going to get loaded into this thing as we come back into this top, and maybe touch that trend line if we're lucky. So I'm into 1,500 now. Might have got stopped out of something. I'm up 4,800 on the day. Long day of scalping. Just letting the market come to me, though. I'm going to buy a little bit of the market here. These accounts. Alright, so we pulled back in. Down 200 bucks, and 2 minutes before the top of the hour. And the stock market is falling through this triangle. Trying to break out of that triangle there. Of course, if this goes up, the euro might go up, actually. Sometimes they sync up, but... Here's the demo account. Yeah, so instead of buying at the market, I just put all my orders down here, right along the trend line, and this top bottom confluence point here. And I want to sell when it goes up. So I'm put all my sells above it again. And once again, I cross my fingers, hope for the best. Trying to make about 1,500 here. 1 o'clock is come and gone, and here's the 1 hour. We got a top bottom on the 1 hour, and we got a major support on the half hour. So here's my top bottom entry. And I'm going to try to take out the high of the day. And then when it goes up there, I'm going to sell all night long up into that. So I'm back to 5,000. I'm only down 92. And we need this to take out the high. I just picked up some more tickets here, so back to 5,000 now. I guess this FOMC minutes are coming out here. I don't think it's a rate decision, just 2 o'clock. So you got this kind of maybe a short squeeze into this FOMC, and then just have to start over from there. So this is my kickoff, and looking for a rally off of that structure point, just off that top, and just let it unfold. Hopefully I make about at least $1,500 on this if it goes up and takes out the high.